All right, y'all. Quick trade recap. Run it up. Back-to-back days. Those of you in the Discord saw a print off this trade. So let's break it down real quick. Quick mini trade recap for the day. In depth about why we took this trade, what we saw, why was it valid, so you guys can better understand the momentum scalps. Because those are bangers, especially in this market environment. All right, let me move this to the side. Okay. So first things first, coming into market open, what do we see? Right? Starting from this point, this is blue zone is where market opens for me. Prior to this, the 200 SMA is sloping down. Okay, so first criteria shows us bearish. If you guys don't know, we have 3 criteria for our bias formation checklist. First criteria, 200 SMA sloping down. Price is in a downtrend a little bit on like larger scale, but we're kind of chopping up a little bit, moving down, moving back up, very inconsistent. But overall, recent price action, the past 200 candles, what we really care about is downtrending. So if we look at the price action, what's it looking like? Downtrend, but then we come back up, retracement, start practically an uptrend a little bit. So coming into market open, I tell the Discord with the team, if you guys are in there, you know, I was like, I want to see a flush down so we can get some consistent selling pressure. I don't want to take some trades when we're sitting like this off of pullbacks because we're not really having any clear strength to the downside yet. So start chopping, chip chop. Is that even chip chop? All right, what am I saying now? So we dump past down here. I tell the team I'm ready to look for shorts if we get a pullback in a momentum candle. Shit just pumpies all the way back up here. And we come back and break above the momentum candle. Just barely, but we break above it. Break above the moving average line. So again, that's the third criteria we need to have intact. Holding below the 200 SMA. Price holding below the 200 SMA. Perfect. In this case, price dumpied, fell all the way back down there. And then this is extra confirmation. I told the Discord, I'm like, all right, we got this pullback. We're very choppy right now. If I want to take shorts, I'm gonna need this thing to flush, break below all these lows to show me some confirmation that we want to continue down, right? I don't like to enter when there's not any strength in the market. This is really inconsistent. We don't have that much strength, okay? Here, we had strength up until we came back and pulled back up to the MA line. But then we fell back down, got a lot of strength. There wasn't really, I'm not still taking trades even for down here because we didn't break below this low. I want us to break below this low with strength. That's exactly what happened. We broke below it. All that's left is I'm waiting for a pullback to be formed with a momentum candle. Why? Because all 3 criteria prior to that are met. I'm ready to take shorts. 200 SMA sloping down. We have bearish price structure, right? We already broke below all these lows, clearly bearish. We're also holding below the moving average line for a while. Great. All that's left for me, pullback, momentum candle, entry. Okay, you guys can see if we play the pullback forward. This candle is not quite a valid momentum candle. Reason being was top wick is a little too large for my liking. I think when this candle formed, it was sitting in this buy, like on the top area of this wick for the first like half of the second and then flushed down a little bit later. But the candle wasn't forming quite well, and we didn't really want to take off candles that don't form well. We only want to take off candles that have clear selling pressure with a lot of strength without any wicks. Okay, without any huge wicks where we're sitting in opposite side of the candle for a while. Okay, bottom wick is fine. Top wick was just something I didn't like. Then we got a pullback. None of these 3 candles are momentum candles, right? They all have big wicks. This one, get this line. This wick, big top wick. This candle, big top wick. This candle, big top and bottom wick. This candle, big bottom wick. Even though they have relatively large bodies, the wicks are still huge, and we want to be careful of that. Only candles that have big body and small wicks. All right, plain and simple. Big body, small wicks. Big body yours, small wicks. All right, plain and simple. We got that pullback again, right? Pullback, move down. We didn't break below this low, so we created a kind of higher low, you can call it, almost. Even though we didn't come back in above this, we still maintained a lower high, and I'm still ready to take shorts off this because we're still in this pullback phase. Okay, we're kind of approaching my closing window of my end of my trading window, so I'm getting a little hesitant to take some trades because usually we start chopping up a little bit when we're approaching that window. So we enter off that momentum candle real quick. Let's see this momentum candle, what it looks like. Okay, if we take a look, no top wick absolutely at all. Bottom wick, very small relatively compared to the candle size. Body is huge compared to the pullback and compared to the recent price action. And stops sit above the high of the candle, plain and simple. If you guys don't know how to precisely drag it and you don't have the magnet mode on, you can either turn on the magnet mode and drag it and it'll automatically snap it on. Or if it's off, you can hold control and hold it as high as above the candle, it'll automatically attach it. It'll snap it onto the highest point of the candle. All right, the top of the wick. So what are we going to do? Instead of, we could target this swing low, but that gives us a 0.76 RR. So instead, what we're going to do is target a plain and simple 1-to-1. All right, because this TP a little riskier. You could have went with that and still hit take profit. A little riskier. I personally went ahead and did a 1-to-1. Reason being is because we had this swing low that could have been easily reversed off of, because we made a new higher low and we're approaching a chop time for my trades, and I don't want to get caught up in the chop movement. I want to get out of my trade, secure my 1-to-1, one and done with that. All right, so we set out 1-to-1, let it hit, banked in like a minute and a half, called it a day. After right at the end of our trading window, made what, 7.5, 7.6 something bands on the day. Fire, easy, plain and simple. High win rate, lower R. I'm telling y'all, keep it stupid simple. Kiss. Okay, don't try to overcomplicate it. Don't try to implement some strategy, trying to implement more confluences, thinking more confluences means I'm going to win more often. That's not true. The more confluences you make, you're going to create a whole new strategy that you have to go and backtest, because that's going to have its own probability, right? I could have 100 confluences, but my strategy could still have a 60% win rate, even if I have 100 confluences, right? There are absolutely like billions of confluences you can implement. There's probably an unlimited number of confluences you can implement, right? And this, you guys are just thinking about the most popular ones and thinking, oh, if I just combine the most popular ones on social media, I'll turn profitable. But that's not how it works. There's so many confluences. The reason they're just popular is because everyone like just talks about them and regurgitates it and shares with each other. You don't see people saying, oh, I entered off the momentum candle after the pullback. This is something that I invented myself, that I found from, right? I'm not saying that those confluences that are popular online are wrong or they don't work. Okay, you have to build a strategy around it and test it. That's what you have to do to make sure it works for you. Okay, and that's what I preach for in the series. You guys already know, backtest as much as you can. The more trades the better, at least 50, ideally 100 or more. Get some good results. So took that trade. You guys can see the entries and exits right here, the P&L, back-to-back days. Fortunately, we didn't break the record again for the third time in a row, but we made some good profits, so I'll take it. All right, we're going to wrap that up here. Hopefully that made sense to y'all. If you guys have any questions about the specific trade we took or anything about the strategy at all, let me know down in the comments below. I'll get to it as soon as I can. But with that being said, I'll see you guys in the Discord, y'all. Take care, everybody.